Heyo everybody, Haku here with this week's read-through for the Promised Neverland, or Yakusoku no Neverland, and this time we got chapter 147. Sorry, I've been recording other things, so my voice is already kinda shot. But yeah, last chapter. What was I thinking? I kind of feel like some things may be happening a little bit too quickly, and I think it's totally a waste of characters to just kill off all the royals so easily like that. Well, they didn't kill off all the royals, obviously, but other than the family heads, to kill off their close family so easily, and I think Lord Pupo died already. I just think that's maybe moving a little bit too quickly in my opinion, and I feel like it's wasting the characters a bit when we could have gotten more with them, or more out of them. But yeah, either way, let's see what we get for 147. So we have the curse of 700 years explodes into despair. And we have, I think that's Bayon looking at the mask of his wife. Mother, father. And then he looks at the children's masks. Lord Gilan, so honorable and graceful. Oh, 'cause yeah, he was the one that was standing up for Gilan too. And he's collapsed on the ground in despair. Man, making me feel bad. Why are they making me feel bad for these people? Gilan, you bastard. Fury burning in the veins, rancor echoing in the scream. Chapter 147, Grudge of Centuries. Ooh, hype time. Oh shit, 700 years ago. Okay then. And that braid I noticed from last week is Gilan's. This is cool, there are a lot of people in the room back then. Speak, the Queen, Legravalama. Yes, Your Majesty. The production of low-grade meat has fallen behind in recent years. The farms cannot keep up. Okay. Starvation runs rampant in every domain with no sign of stopping. Should we do nothing, the people will perish into total ruin. Five regent families then, Lord Gilan. I suggest we open the royal treasury and distribute some of our own human meat reserves. And his braid almost sort of reminds me of Musica's hair, so I'm wondering if she could be from his family, or if she is just some random normal citizen who was born with her abilities. But now we see the others reacting. You want the common populace to help themselves to the share of our meat. Much too dangerous. The fare of the nobility is not meant for the rabble. Five regent families, Lord Noom, former head. The risk depends on the amount, mayhaps a small portion. Five regent families, Lord Bayon, former head, and that's the original Bayon that we knew of. Absurd, out of the question. First of all, would not that imply reducing our own portions? Five regent families, Lord Pupo. How can you worry about such a thing in times like these? The people starve, fellow neighbors fall into the wild and devour one another, even mothers and their children. These infernal scenes spread from domain to domain like rot, turning whole villages to ruin. The extent of damage is yet untold. Surely there shall be no government left if there are no people left to govern. Surely there shall be no prosperity for our race if we do not care for our people. We must perforce take measures, or it will be the end of us all. And see, I sort of like this, where they're still, of course, evil for farming and eating the humans, but at the same time, he cared for the innocent people of his own people, at least. If only he could have spread some of that care to the humans, you know? But either way, for our own sake, for the sake of the throne, we the nobles must endeavor hard to succor those in need. And we see reactions from the other three family heads. Very well. Calm yourself, Lord Gilan. You made your point clear. Still, the worries of our peers are far from baseless. Five regent families, Duke of Elk. We should not forget. Okay, so then Doza was the one that replaced Gilan. We should not forget the true root of the problem, production management. With the cessation of the war, the people have increased in number, and the farms failed to keep pace. However, we're presently working with the humans of the Ratri. We're running multiple experiments on mass production of commoners' meat. Even now, we're revolutionizing the very idea of what a farm must be. For the while, let us wait. Once we have the results, we will decide. This assembly is now over. Disperse. Damn it. Why? Why are they unable to recognize the extent of this crisis? All they care about is their own personal benefit, as if the fire was not raging in their own backyards. Nay, it is not that they cannot, but that they will not. Mass production, as if it were not precisely their failed experiments that brought about the famines. Lord Gilan, you truly are magnificent. Retainer of the House of Gilan, Commander Doza. Okay, so now we're seeing Doza. Even amongst the 5 regent families, the Gilan blood is peerless in its nobility. The knowledge at your hands is boundless, and yet you do not begrudge any of it, but share with the serfs of our domain. No other lord is as adored by retainers and populace alike. Even in the face of this terrible famine, the land that best manages the catastrophe is our Gilan domain. There are as of yet still plenty in desperate need of help. Lord, you must never give up. The seeds you're planting are bound to bloom at some point. You can save them. Your cause is just. It will be recognized. It will be my greatest honor to be by your side, helping the Lord whichever way I can. I thank thee. I'm truly fortunate. I have a task for thee, Doza. Oh, and Doza has a Sleipnir. So yeah, maybe she could potentially be from that, family. Or Musica could. This morning, the town peddlers talked of a most intriguing rumor. I would like thee to investigate this matter. If this power is real, it would allow the people a way to endure the famine. It might even be useful for the future of our farming. Okay, so of course this is how Gilan's going to be betrayed, and Musica was from his domain then. But now we're going to see how he was betrayed and how Doza took power, of course. Lord Gilan, and we see him captured. You're hereby deemed guilty of high treason. You and your clan are sentenced to fall into the wild. What is the meaning of this? You have been found to plot the fall of the throne by using an aberrant bloodline to... It cannot be. He would never, thinks Gilan. Yes, it was me. Doza. Yep, I snitched on ya. I betrayed the most united and richest house in the realm. How dreadful. I'm grateful to you. You know, you gave me the chance of a lifetime. And the way that you judge people not by noble birth, but by the effort they put into work... Really, I'm glad that our good master was such an idiot. Someone called Duke of Elk. I stand innocent. My family, we've been framed. We know, says Evelk. What? You were plotting no treason. Indeed, one may hardly find a more loyal subject than you. It was all Doza's plan, a baseless, shameless lie. If you know that, then why? Because you are a hindrance. Your notions of justice and honor stand in the way. We thank you for your devotion to the throne, but no one wants you here. I fail to see what is the matter. If the populace is too numerous, let them starve. The problem solves itself, says the Queen. Such is Her Majesty's position on the matter. Do you see now? She's rotten. No. Why? And not just her. All of us are rotten and corrupt. And we see Bayon. Amidst us, your straight-laced purity stood out like an eyesore. Doza's petty trickery came just at the right time to get rid of you. And now we see the fallen Gilan. And looks like Bayon and Noom are both going in for an attack. Family, you say. All dead. My retainers, too. Irreplaceable, each and every one. My grief, our grief, of 700 years goes so much beyond this. Oh shit. And now we see he's taken Noom and Bayon's heads. Bayon's boy and Noom's little daughter, I see. If you begrudge this, then you do well to turn that grudge to your parents. And now Doza's looking on. Seems like our goody two-shoes dear lord has some guts to him after all. Now looks like he's going to go in for an attack. Bayon and Noom were gone in the blink of an eye. He's not the same Gilan I knew, that's for sure. Is this because them folks have only eaten fancy-dandy humans for centuries? But I'm not like them. I've spent the last 700 years strengthening my skill as a warrior. I'm nothing like these stuck-up nobles who sit on their pillows all day. I won't underestimate you. I'm going with all I got. Die. And then freaking Gilan takes his head off. You forgot your place, Doza. There is nothing for one such as you but beg for mercy, the dance of death, and hatred towards its final act. Man. That is absolute insanity. So, again, it feels like the families have been killed off far too easily. However, Gilan is freaking awesome. He took down those two like it's nothing, and it looks like one of his retainers is the one that took down Doza, actually. Man, it's crazy. Alright, only two left. Move in. And now, of course, Norman's probably going to try to betray them. It's crazy that on the morality spectrum, Norman's group and Gilan aren't really all that dissimilar. Like, they both definitely have some sketchiness to them, like Norman wanting to genocide an entire race, or Gilan wanting to keep an entire race to farm for meat. But they also both have sort of, like, they're both bad, and that for the other race they don't mind if they are killed off or whatever, but they're good for their own people, but only for their own people, which is where they fall short compared to, like, Musica and Emma, who want to save everyone. So it is very interesting, actually. I'm excited to see how things go once, like, Musica and Emma get involved. That's what I really want to see go down. Like, this stuff is good, but I want to see what kind of monkey wrench that Emma throws into this plan. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like if you did like it. Comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter, what you thought of my thoughts and reactions. Subscribe for more. The Promised Neverland, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel or talk to you there. If you want a link to our Discord server to talk about anything there with me or more of us, then just ask and I can give you a link. It's free and open for anyone. And if you'd like to help support the channel on Patreon, then just there's a link to the Patreon in the description. It would super duper help the channel. And patrons get to select a new series for the channel every 3 months. Give suggestions, vote, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.